Hey guys, I'm back for the second stream of today. I got some lunch. Feeling pretty tired today, but I somewhat recovered. Man, this is my third stream today because I did Tekken earlier. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm actually gonna play through some audition music. Um, Basically it's due near the second half of August, and oh boy, I've got a lot of time to do it. So I'm just going to work on some tempo. Then I'm going to listen to some recordings next week off stream. So I'm just going to work on it. Work on it real slow. I'm going to start at 50 for this first one. These are just excerpts from mostly like classical-ish works, like what people would consider classical, like from the past and such. So here goes nothing. Oh, I gotta go a little faster. Okay. All right, so I would turn on subdivisions, but then there are some sections that don't really mesh well with the subdivision, mainly quarter note triplets. Those are always a little messy and weird, awkward to count. Um, I'll look up the pronunciation later of this excerpt because I do not want to butcher it right now. But yeah, there are actually 3 excerpts from this one guy. So that was my first attempt with that. I'm just going to try to get it to 100. I'm going to go up in intervals of 10, and then I'm going to move on to the next piece. Oh, hey, kitty. I'm going to show you guys my cat. And then I'm going to let her out. Here's Shadow. She's a shy, anxious cat, except around me, so I'm going to let her out. Yeah, she does not like the clarinet. She falls asleep under my bed, I play the clarinet, and then I have to let her out. All right, run number 2. So yeah, I am kind of playing it all at mezzo forte right now. I'm not really paying attention to the accelerandos, the accels and the Ritz. However, what I'm doing is I'm just getting a bass line for my fingers right now, just to make it as smooth as possible on my fingers so that I can alter tempo easily later. I just want to do it like I'm basically doing this without musicality, just for the fingers. The next week, that's when I really start to make it more musical and try to pay attention to everything on the page. At least that's kind of what I like to do with excerpts like this. I'm going to do that bar again. I'm going to try that bar. We're on the third bar of that pattern-ish, essentially. Okay, not too bad. Okay, now we're at 80. Not doing the worst. So just 3 more times, and then we're all done with that for today. Oh boy, okay, that one's a little hard. Just gonna try to calm down, focus, and do it again. That one's a little awkward because it goes like da 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 da. It go. Essentially, it's GA a bunch of times, and that messes with my perception of where I am in relation to the beat. Because right now I don't want to rush or drag right now. So that's kind of the mental thing I'm going through with that one. That's why I started at 50. I'm going to see if I can at least play it once correctly at 92, at least for that last section. The other two lines, the other two runs, we're just going to call them runs. The other two runs seem to be all right, though. Oh boy. That might be a little too fast today. So I'm just going to say I got to 80 today. Relatively comfortable. I've got plenty of time to get this tempo up. Honestly, a week, like roughly a week to get this tempo up isn't like the most unrealistic goal. Because the reality about building tempo is you can only make so much progress every day. And you universally get better at it as you continue on your clarinet journey. So for right now, I can only play it relatively comfortably up to 80. I'm just going to do repetition and work on the next part. Interesting. Okay. So this one's at 84 to the dotted quarter. It seems to be separated into 6 16th notes. So my strategy is I'm going to have a subdivision. So it'll basically be triplet rhythm, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's going to be my strategy. We're just going to do it and then see if I can get it up to 84. If I can get it up to 84, then I'm in really good shape on this. not too bad so far. A little more sloppy, but let's see if I can just lock in going into 60 BPM. I'm gonna write that down. Left. Okay. Okay, I'm just gonna play through that whole thing again. There's just like one bar that's a little awkward. It changes the fingering pattern ever so slightly from what you're used to earlier on in the passage, and that messes with your head a little bit. A lot of this music is written as if it's attempting to get you to mess up, but that's why we play it. Because it'll allow us to become better players in the long run. And then if we get something normal and easy, it will be extremely easy and we'll be able to use all of our musicality and not worry about the fingers. Nice. Okay, I actually did it all right. 60. Okay. I'm going to do it 2 more times. Once at 72, once at 84. Okay, we're just going to chunk it a little bit. I'm just going to play like one bar, then the next bar, then the next bar, then the next bar. Unless I find flow. Interesting. I might have to chunk it for this last one too. But overall, since 84 is the designated tempo, I'm not too worried about having to polish this up for like 2 months. Okay, nice. Okay, this one is weird. This next one is weird. Yeah, it's supposed to be between 44 and 50 BPM to the dotted quarter, but as you can tell, there's this. This is kind of crazy. So since this is I'm just going to play through this one a few times. I'll listen to recordings, but essentially, if I can just fly through the 20 tuple and the 30-second tuple notes, then I will be in good shape, because then lining it up with everything else is not as difficult. I may not use a metronome for this one. I'm just going to play it through a few times and just get it in my fingers. So I'm getting most of the notes through. Just playing around with it at the beginning, I believe, is the best way to kind of get into it. What you have to be careful of, though, is you really have to pay attention to where the finger motion starts and ends, so you don't over or undershoot. I've done that a few times in this little play session. Overall, I don't think that's too bad. Now, this next one is a lot more straightforward. Significantly more straightforward. So it's only at 72 BPM to the quarter note, it seems. So just to make it... Okay, so I'm just going to perform this at... Okay, I'm going to start at 40, 50, 60, 72. Just play it through 4 times. Lots of accidental... Okay, so it's Copeland. Copeland emblems. Copeland emblems. Okay. We got 2 excerpts. This is the first one. The next one is significantly faster, but that's okay. Okay, this is way easier than I thought. I think mentally, I was preparing for the next Copeland excerpt. So I'm just going to try this at tempo just to see if I can do it, and then we'll probably move on. Yeah, not that big of a deal. And in terms of style, I don't think I was that off. I'm going to double check, though, to make sure. I like to start doing these excerpts every year without looking at a recording first and then looking at a recording. It's a little bit more difficult without the recording because once you listen to the recording, you kind of get how it's supposed to sound. But I want to challenge myself, and I just want to get the raw fingers down, and then have that kind of be a boost to make it extremely easy after I first get into it. Okay, so this one is pretty fast. So it's 126 to the quarter note. However, I want to count it in eighth notes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it at 100. 100 to the eighth note, and then I'm going to try to see if I can get it to 200. Because then the next excerpt seems pretty easy, and then there's only one excerpt after that. I mean, it's 2 pages long, but I'll just play the last excerpt like 3 times or so. So yeah, just going to spend a lot of time on this one. Not too bad. I'm going to try it at 120. Gonna do that line again. Start at the beginning of the line. Nice. 144. If it gets too steep, we might not be able to make it to 200 comfortably. But good progress today already. Four, six. Okay. Just a bit of squirreliness in my tone causing me to squeak. Or should I say the embouchure? Just got to keep it still. 160. Not doing too bad. That could have been much sloppier. 184. One more time. Okay, now we're going to move on. Can I do it at 200? I think if I'm gonna count it with 8, then the target tempo is 252. I'll start recounting this in quarter notes. It'll probably be a little easier that way, but based on what I'm currently doing right now, I'm 40 clicks off if I do this right, which again is not much in the grand scheme of having over 2 months. A little bit sloppy, but that's all right. Okay, this next one's only at 60. It's looks like a new electronic piece. However, we don't have the electronics yet, just some instructions for it. I'm probably going to dig into it more to see if I can access it somehow, but for now, I'm just going to run through it at 60. Only once, and then we're going to go to the last excerpt. Triplet. Okay, I'm gonna do those triplets. Triplet. I'm just gonna vocalize it with tonguing. I'm gonna tongue everything, even the note that I don't play there. Interesting. Not too concerned about that one, even though there's that weird triplet section. That'll be fine. That will legitimately be okay. Now for this wild cadenza section. I'm just going to try maybe 60, 80, 100, maybe 120. It's all a cadenza, and it looks like it does change tempo, so I'm just going to work to make my tempo flexible today. Just get it up as fast as I can go, and then worry about the musicality about it later. Just fingers, comfortability, then music later. Ooh, there's a random 5/8 there. Ooh, that is going to be awkward. Okay, I'm going to need to change my strategy here. I'm going to shift it to 120 so I can only hear the 8th note. That's what we're going to go on right now. And then we'll try to get it to 200 to the 8th. And we're just going to continue from that 5/8 bar. Yeah, because that 5/8 bar, I want to practice it straight through. I don't want to create a space so that the metronome can realign. because I believe that is a bad habit right now, a potential bad habit right now. So we're just gonna only listen to eights, just because of that one bar. And also, I'm gonna have to come up with a new strategy for the page flip. So this is one excerpt across 2 pages. So I'll be like, I just want to write a note to take care of that. Page flip, question mark. That'll remind me to come up with a new strategy. What I'm thinking is I remove this, remove the last page, and maybe attach it to this one and like have it fold as if it was like a book compared to the other excerpts. It'll make it a little funky, but it's probably the best choice here in order to keep all the music together and stapled, of course. Okay, from the 5/8. Oh, that was a G. Oh boy. That's an awkward one. It kind of feels chromatic until it isn't. I'm going to write in a little fingering there. I definitely played that one probably a little too slow, but I feel good. All right. So I already performed a lot longer today than I did yesterday. I might do a little more practicing off camera today, but I got through pretty much everything I really wanted and needed, felt like I needed to get through. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Unless you want to watch my Street Fighter stream, I might stream Street Fighter and maybe or maybe something else. So see you guys.